Hey everyone, this is Chintan back again, and in this video, I'm just going to brief my new Golang guidance course for 1 month, as I announced this on the in the community post on YouTube, and as I made a commitment on YouTube that whoever will be buying this course, whoever will be participating to this course, I'll be giving my upcoming Udemy course on the Golang for free to that person. So fees for this course will be 4,000 for 1 month, and in this video I'm just going to brief the contents and the introduction, so you can have a better understanding about the course, like what you are going to learn, teach, and practice in this whole 1 month. And there will be like in total I think 16 sessions, each of 1 hour. So basically this is going to be a 16-hour one-to-one live classes for the Golang. My name is Chinmay and I work in Japan, and I work here as a senior software engineer in Golang, and my total work experience is like more than 5 years. And out of 5 years, almost since last 4 years, I'm working like 3.5 years. I'm working mainly in Golang. Before that, I was working with JavaScript, TypeScript, Node.js, and all the like backend stuff. So I'm a core backend engineer, and I help my team to build projects, or, or to build highly scalable microservice architecture based Golang backend services for my company. Anyway, so this was a quick introduction about me. So now let's start the introduction for the course. So this is going to be a microservice project, and I'm not going to teach you like things like very basic things in Golang, like how to write very simple like code syntax or the program, but I'm going to teach you how to set up and build a production level highly scalable clean code architecture microservice pattern backend service in Golang, including the database and the Kubernetes local development flow with the deploy first strategy. So you can have confidence about your project that whenever you will be trying to deploy that using Kubernetes, you will be able to do so. Like usually when you see Udemy or the YouTube, you see people uh, developing their backend services using Docker. But in this case, in this particular course we'll be doing the same but using Kubernetes, not the Docker. Okay. Anyways, so first of all, I'll be giving you like project introduction, which is like similar to like what I've just said, and then we'll be setting up the two microservices, and we won't be setting up any mono repo, because when you work on the scale, when you work for the like on the like at the enterprise level, I used a separate repository for every single microservice, and there was no mono repo. So I will help you to set up each like to set up individual microservice repository, and then make them to communicate with each other using gRPC. So we will be setting up VBFF server, then the auth service, and then setting up the Postgres database with the Docker Compose. So we will be using Docker Compose but to run the local database, uh, local Postgres database, but not to run the project. Then I'm just like, I think like currently nobody like you won't be able to find such project structure, or the like clean code architecture, or the hexagonal project structure on YouTube or the Udemy. So I'm going to teach you a very highly scalable production level hexagonal project structure, where we will in the root directory will be having only 5 folders: app, business, foundation, vendor, and Zoff. This is basically based on the 5 mental model, which means that our brain is only able to handle the 5 concurrent or 5 parallel thoughts at a single time. More than that, our brain cannot handle, like technically. So it is like based on that. So whenever we want to add something new, or whenever we want to debug something, we just need to focus only on these 5 folders, and like uh, we will be knowing like from where the problem is coming, because the all we need to do is just to focus on all these five mental model project structure. So I will explain why the solar structure is very unique and highly scalable and follows clean code architecture. I believe in the deploy first strategy, as I said. So after this, we'll be set up a K8s local development flow, and we'll try to run the hello world. We'll try to run the hello world server with K8s local development flow. After that, basically, I will be explaining the importance of the centralized configuration. So basically, I will be helping you to set up a centralized configuration for each and every single microservice, which will be based on the .yml file for each environment, like the local, dev, staging, and studio, and the prod. So all you need to do, you just need to set up this app environment variable in your like secrets.yml file in the case of Kubernetes, or in your .env file, and then based on this, like a local or dev or prod, based on the value of this environment variable, your centralized configuration file will be fetching configuration from the .yml file, which is like a very standard way, or like a production way to load and unload the configuration based on the different environments. Then we'll be setting up a database instance, and we'll be having a file docker compose local.yml, where we'll be having local database setting. Then you can have as like prod docker compose .prod.yml, where you can have all of your production database setting. Then we'll create the Postgres connection code and update the config.co file to provide the configuration for the database connection whenever we need. After that, we'll be writing a proto file first, basically, and in the proto file, we will be writing these functionality: login, logout, sign up, confirmation, registration, recent confirmation code, and the validate token. Okay, this is the complete auth flow we need in order to make authenticate service. Then now generate the proto code and for the Golang, and we'll start working on the gRPC handlers. So basically, after this point, we'll be writing service file, repository interface, and the repository implementation. Our repository just to do the database operation, and the service file just to respond to the gRPC handler methods, basically. Okay. After that, before writing the above code, we need to set up the database migrations, of course, and then generate the SQLC code so we can make database operations. So for database migrations, I use Goose, and for generating database queries, Golang code, I use SQLC, which has no performance issues from the scale to high, from a small to highly scalable backend services. So we are going to use that, and we will be setting everything for the Goose and the SQLC. With the above part, the auth service will be ready to use, and the test with the postman by making gRPC calls after running the server using K8s local development flow. Anyways, this is the Latmus. Similarly, in the similar fashion, we are going to set the BFF service, and BFF stands for the backend for the front end, which is like basically your API gateway. So BFF is a way to call your API gateway, because this is the backend for your front end. So your front end supposed to make calls to this backend, and this backend supposed to make calls to other microservices. So that's why we call it BFF service. So BFF server will contain gRPC client and the Gin framework HTTP server, because auth service we will contain only gRPC server, not the HTTP. But the BFF will contain HTTP server and the gRPC client. No database setup, as BFF does not need the database, of course, because we don't have anything to do here with the database as of this point. We'll be using structured concurrency for handling HTTP requests rather than the directly processing the request, of course. We will be using token bucket algorithm for the rate limiter for the safety, and we will be using K8s local development flow for the deploy first strategy. So this course is basically a highly scalable, clean code architecture, Golang one-to-one live classes to create a project from scratch, and I am going to provide the complete microservice project with both the repositories and all the code. But at the same time, in the live classes, I am going to write the code, and I'm going to explain you the concept and the structure of the code and the project. And by the end of this course, you will be having a complete working microservice which you can test and can deploy as well. And at the end of the course, if you will be having time, then I will be helping you to deploy the complete microservice to the digital ocean. So for that, I will be providing you the Kubernetes related code, all the .yml files, so you can deploy your project to the internet and can use it at literally at the production level. So this is going to be a very unique and the best Golang live classes for your learning, which will definitely increase the weightage of your resume and will help you to stand out with your resume whenever you will be applying for a job. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the course. For more details, please do watch the video and contact me on my email address or my WhatsApp number. So yeah, thank you so much.